Welcome to the Adventurers versus Vacationeers show, or whatever this is, YouTube program. I don't know what this is. Allow me to make some introductions before we begin and tell you how this is going to work. First, we have the Adventurers, who are, oddly enough, from the YouTube channel Adventures by D. Today we have Chris and Dave. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Ian.
Tom and Ian, thanks for having us on.
Well, it's our show, Dave, so don't thank me. This is a combined effort of two different YouTube channels, and we are from Ian and I are from the Vacationeers Theme Parks and More podcast, as well as the Vacationeers podcast YouTube channel. So, hello, Ian.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah, this is exciting. This is our first Adventurers versus Vacationeers show, and we're starting with Disneyland versus Disney World. So this is how this is going to work. This is a collaboration of our two channels, and we're going to take turns hosting each episode. So this very first episode, we are hosting as Vacationeers. So this will come out on our YouTube channel. And the very next episode will be hosted by Adventures by D, and it'll be on their YouTube channel. So needless to say, you should probably subscribe to both our channels right now, Adventures by D and Vacationeers Theme Parks and More. Nope. Vacationeers podcast, and that way you can get ring the bell for notifications too, so that would be very helpful. Yeah. All right, so this is how this is going to work. Let me look at my notes, because I need to say this correctly so I don't forget anything, because otherwise we'll forget something. We're going to pick two minor attractions and one e-ticket attraction each episode. And how this works is the host gets to make the first pick. So I got to pick the very first attraction and which side we wanted to take. And then they took one, and then we got the last one, and we just basically got to pick which version we want, Disneyland or the Disney World. And obviously the next episode, they will get the first pick. So the person who's hosting really gets the better end of the stick here. And we're also argue for our side. So if I pick, a Disney World attraction and they pick the Disneyland, even if they think that Disneyland or the Disney World attraction is better, they still have to argue for the Disneyland. And we're not going to tell you. I think it's a good idea not to tell anyone what we chose and what we believe versus what we basically were forced to pick. That way it's better. That way the viewer can try to figure out, ascertain, no, wait a second, are they believing what they're saying, or are they full of BS? And you're going to find out, because at the very end of every episode, we're going to actually individually vote, and we're going to see which attraction is better. And just because you defended the Disneyland version doesn't mean you have to vote for it. At the end of the day, you can, vote for whatever you want. So this will be very exciting. So like I said, we're going to do 3 attractions. This episode, we're doing, let me see what we have here. Where are my attractions? Fantasmic at Disneyland versus Disney World. Then we got the River Rapid Rides, which is the Grizzly River Run versus the Cali River Rapids. And then the main event, the e-ticket, Splash Mountain. That's right. Soon to be called something else probably, but right now it is Splash Mountain, and it will be debated. Let me see. You guys have anything else to add? Let me see my rundown if there's anything I need. Oh, let's say this. As you're watching the show and we're debating, or we're giving our sides, by all means, leave a comment down below and tell us what you think and any arguments you have for whichever side that you'd like to do. And also, like I said, we're doing another episode coming up, and we haven't picked the attractions yet. So, if you want something. Now, they have to be the same attraction, or a comparable type of attraction. Like River Rapids, they're not the same, but they're both a rapids ride. Fantasmic is the same show. Well, in essence, the name, I guess. And Splash Mountain, same thing. So it can't be something like something really weird that they really don't. There's not one in each park. There has to be one in each park for this really to work the way we're doing it. So if you have something you'd like to see coming up in the next episode or a future episode, put it down in the comments, and we'll get to it for sure. All right. Guys, have anything to add? Oh, yep.
I was going to say, let's let the battle begin.
Oh, the clash. Ooh. East Coast versus West Coast. Let's do this. The very first one we're going to discuss is Fantasmic. So I'll go over some history of Fantasmic. So let us begin. Fantasmic is a nighttime show at Disneyland Park at the Disneyland Resort. Disney's Hollywood Studios at Disney World Resort, and previously at Tokyo Disney Sea at Tokyo Disney Resort. It features fireworks, characters, live actors, water effects, pyrotechnics, lasers, music, auto animatronics, searchlights, decorated boat floats, and mist screen projections. The narrative of Fantasmic is a voyage through Mickey Mouse's imagination that culminates in a battle against the Disney villains. Fantasmic originated in Disneyland, or at Disneyland in 1992, after Walt Disney Creative Entertainment was asked to create a nighttime spectacular involving water and fireworks to reinvigorate the space in front of the rivers of America. The area was reworked, including terracing the walkways to accommodate viewing and modifying part of Tom Sawyer Island to allow the show's staged live-action segments. A second version, featuring new scenes, opened at Disney's Hollywood Studios in 1998, and a third version premiered at Tokyo Disney Sea in 2011. An updated version of Disneyland's Fantasmic debuted in 2017, featuring a re-recorded soundtrack in addition to new scenes, lighting, and costumes. So that is the rundown of what Fantasmic is. I am quite sure everyone kind of knows what Fantasmic is if you're watching this. So on the left of your screen right now, you see the Disneyland version, and on the right, you see the Disney World. The Disney World version is from 2010. Old technology, so yeah, it might not be the best video. 2019 is from Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we recorded that in 2019. It's probably a little better video, I guess. But don't let the video quality, sway you in which one you enjoy better. So I think, Dave, would you and Chris like to defer or wait?
No, we'll take the
first?
ball. We'll receive.
All right,
we're the guest,
they're
we're the
receiving.
visitor.
All right, well, take it away. Why do you?
All right,
okay, so you're
so
taking. I guess
it
we should preface this with you guys are taking the Disney World side. So okay, go ahead,
Correct.
please. Sorry.
Correct.
And I do want to say before we start, I thought it was interesting in the stats that this show, Fantasmic, actually opened in Disneyland first and then came to Disney World a few years later. I thought that was interesting because I would have thought it would have been flipped that it started at Disney World first. So
Yeah.
that was an interesting stat for it.
Oh yeah.
So we're taking Disney World. So Fantasmic. If you've been to Disney World, you know the show is actually not in the Magic Kingdom. It's in Hollywood Studios in a dedicated theater. Everybody has a seat to watch Fantasmic in Hollywood Studios. They built the theater for Fantasmic. So one of the ways that I think it's much better in Disney World, aka Hollywood Studios, is that you go in there, you get a seat. It's in its own. It's shut off from the rest of the park. And it's a great way to cap the day in Hollywood Studios, which some can argue is not necessarily a full day park, although it's gotten better the last couple of years with Star Wars and Toy Story. But they have a dedicated theater. You know, they know how to bring people in and out. You know the time when it's at, and you can sit down. It's a large theater too. It holds a lot of people, and I've seen it full quite a bit. But for Disney World, you can have a seat, and to me, that is one of the big advantages over Disneyland, is that a lot more people could sit down and actually enjoy the show. Chris, you want to add to that?
Yes. So for me, it's fun to know in Hollywood Studios that there is a show that you can see at the end of the night where you can sit. And in Hollywood Studios, you have to choose between two shows. So you're either going to try to see Fantasmic or you are going to try to see the Star Wars projection show that they had at the end of the night. You couldn't really do both. So it was always a flip of a coin of which one you wanted to go to. You're also pretty close to the action. So while it's a huge theater and you can have a seat, you can see everything. It's a permanent setup for them. You see Mickey on a mountain kind of directing things. The ships come out in the water and around like in front of you. So it's a good show. It's fun.
Plus the water projections and the fireworks are a little bit bigger in Disney World, just because probably the engineers were able to plan that theater a little better, so it's safer.
It's permanent.
Yeah, it's permanent, and you get a little bit bigger kind of special effects.
And Dave and I were talking, I think you used to be able to reserve a fast pass for seating for Fantasmic of one of your 3 when they used to have fast passes.
Yeah.
And you could also dine at certain locations, and I think it would give you a better seat also in Hollywood Studios. We were talking through that. It's been a while since the show's
that's true.
played, right? So, but those 2 things make it, a great attraction to see. And we've gone many times with our family.
Okay. You guys have any other?
All right, return serve.
All right. Well, okay. So first of all, and then I'm going to start off with a pretty lame reason. Like if we were in a bar just having this discussion, I would not bring this up. But because we're on a podcast or on a YouTube video, I am going to bring it up. Mickey Mouse belongs in the resort's main park. He belongs at the Magic Kingdom or at Disneyland Park. He is the reason the parks even exist, right? So Disneyland, yes, it's Mickey Mouse. He that's where he belongs. He doesn't belong in a third-rate park. Like you said, Dave, it's not even a full-day park. You're going to have his show there? Come on. That's ridiculous. He needs to be in Disney World. That's where he belongs. So that's okay, that's number 1. 2, Disneyland, it happens on Rivers America, which is so up. I mean, look at the video right now. Look how now, mind you, I'm way back, but you could be one of those people up front there. Look how close you are, as close as you can get to the front seats at the the Hollywood Hills Amphitheater at Disney Hollywood Studios. You're still not getting as close, not nearly as close as you can get. It's not nearly as intimate as in Disneyland. It is so much nicer. Plus, like you said before, Dave, the time commitment it takes. You got to line up an hour before. You get, God forbid, you actually get a good seat in that amphitheater. Like you get close. That thing seats 6,900 people plus 3,000 more standing in behind. So when that show's over, good luck. You got another hour to wait to try to get out of that thing. This is a major time sink in your evening. Now, mind you, the show typically, if you go to the second show, like who really cares? The park's closed by then anyway. However, Disneyland, I can just kind of moonwalk back and just hit Pirates of the Caribbean 2 seconds after watching Fantasmic. That is fantastic. It is so much better. Love it. Ian, do you have anything you want to add?
This got a pirate ship.
Oh, yeah. I got special video. Now, I know this is unfair, and as a host, I take this liberty. But, okay, there's no pirate ship in Disney World one. Watch this video of the Disneyland pirate ship. Come on.
I start believing in ghost stories, Mr.
Oh, that's so powerful. Look at it. Imagine if you were down near the fence. My Lord, are you kidding me? That is a huge pirate ship going right by you. Look at all the action. I mean, there's guys way up top fighting. Oh, my Lord. That is amazing. Look, they're swinging. Oh, yes. Yes. That's just absolutely wonderful. I mean, this alone is a drop mic moment that would be like, okay, this is why Disneyland wins. It cannot be better than this. And look at this. Look at Tom Sawyer Island. It's catching on fire. Oh, it's our reset. I didn't go that far. But anyway, there we go. But there we go. We're back. But oh my Lord, are you kidding? That is just so good, so good. That is amazing.
What time do you think you have to line up to get in that front row to see that show?
At
Just
Disneyland?
curious what you say. Yeah.
Oh, I don't need to be. I'm in the back. We literally walked up minutes before, and that's the view. The view you see in the video is what we got minutes before the show actually started. So you can't do that. I mean, you're going to basically sell out at. There's many times when Fantasmic, especially when they didn't run it every day for that weird time span with it, 2010, 2012, where they only had it like on Wednesdays. Like then they had certain days of the week. Man, if you didn't line up an hour before, at least you weren't even getting into the show. So yeah, Disney World, you got to line up, you got to get in there. And like I said, if you get a good seat, you got a lot of people you got to wait through to get back out of the theater.
So I will make the argument for Disneyland because last time I was there, I caught the end of it.
Yeah.
But I made the decision to not watch the whole show and ride some rides. And that area of the park is uber clogged just because everybody's watching Fantasmic. To get on Pirates or to go back to the Haunted Mansion or to get around to Splash Mountain, it's like darn near impossible.
Can't walk through there. Forget it.
You can't walk through there. I mean, it's the same reason they got rid of a bunch of those planners for Galaxy's Edge.
Okay.
The Hollywood Studios, at least, given it's a
at
time
least you
commitment,
can.
Absolutely agree, but at least you're out of the way.
Yeah,
And,
you're way out of the way.
As a family, when we were there and Fantasmic was going in Disneyland, like we tried to walk up at the end. We were out of luck because there was no more standing room anywhere in all the areas they have you shoved in. And if you were way off to the side, you couldn't see. Like it was obstructed view. So we had to keep going to another ride.
Well, you could though, very easily, right? It's like, oh, okay, let's go to another ride. But that pirate ship, come on. That pirate ship it's incredible, right?
I like the pirate ship. I'll give you half a point for that.
Okay.
Come on, you got Mickey.
That's all I want.
You've got Mickey on a mountain directing to you, like Fantasmic, right
But you
there
know
in a
what?
permanent mountain in Hollywood Studios.
The Tom Sawyer
While you're
Island.
sitting in your comfy seat with your kids
I don't
turning
need
on
no
their
seat.
bubble wands or their
Uh-huh.
electric spinnies,
Yeah.
and they just sit there eating popcorn and watching the show, like a little show.
Well, in Tom Sawyer Island, I mean, they got that's a multi-use. Yes, you got a dedicated stadium. I'm more impressed, and I enjoy the fact that they're repurposing something. And during the day, when you're on that island, you're walking around. It doesn't appear that like they could transform that into what it becomes. It's quite remarkable that they can do that.
What a shame, though, they have to shut down the mountain and all the activities in the water for the show. They don't keep going during that time, do they?
Well, I mean,
People could be riding that pirate ship.
that island.
I mean, come on. It could be a real ride. They didn't even do that. In Hollywood Studios, it's just a section and you can keep on going with your day if you don't want to do it.
That island is closed at sundown, I believe. You can't even get over there. So it's already closed. Like at Magic Kingdom, you can't get over to Tom Sawyer Island after sundown. So it's
I don't
not
know. I
being used.
swim over there sometimes. So.
It's not being
Just
used.
kidding. We've done it. It's fun. Tom Sawyer's Island is fun.
I mean, just you're being so close. I don't know. It's just, I love it. I absolutely love it. Just fantastic. I think it's pretty clear.
Ian, what do you think? What do you want to add? Why is Disneyland better?
I don't know.
Wow.
I just don't remember that show that well. Well, I do.
Disneyland?
Exactly. It left such an impression on you that
how do you remember
Disney
Disney
World more,
World
don't
show?
you?
I'm not supposed to defend Disney World, so I don't want to. I
Well,
don't have anything to say on Disney
Do you
World.
remember the Disney World show?
Yes.
All right, just be
See?
quiet.
I don't know what you...
All right, that's
And he was younger. Just think how he was so much older when he went
Impressionable,
to Disneyland.
yes.
He was trying to figure out how to get back on Pirates again, and he couldn't get through the line.
That's right.
People were standing beyond the walkway.
no way, man.
They had marks.
You can just
They
walk
couldn't get
away.
in.
The show's over. Like, all right, peace out. We just keep on going with our day. Not like, oh my God, there's literally 6,900 people in front of me and I can't get out. Oh my Lord, no way. Oh, terrible, I say.
I mean, imagine if you get a fast pass when they had fast passes and you save one, so you only get 3 for the day,
Even
and you
then,
save that one
even with the fast pass,
just to get into
you still gotta
Fantasmic
wait. You
in
still
Walt
gotta
Disney
wait.
World because you want to see that so badly.
You still gotta wait.
Well,
And
careful, Dave.
Dave's getting angry.
You got too excited.
You stay seated, sir. No, even the seating area for the food and the fast pass weren't the best seats. They were off to the side. So if you really wanted the best Fantasmic seats at Disney Hollywood Studios, you would have to commit to at least an hour to 90 minutes to get the best seats. So there you go.
We never did. We just sat towards the back.
That's
And had a
good.
great
You get out a
time.
little earlier. Yeah. Try to escape.
That's right. You escape
And that,
the
what
crowd.
happens is you miss the half.
and then
miss
you
the
try
end of
the
show.
mad dash to see the Star Wars show if you can make it, but you can't. So.
Yeah, no, there's no way.
And I forgot that there's actually 2 shows. I forgot that because they sometimes would have one at park closing, and one that was earlier. So I had actually forgotten
always go
that.
to later.
And how about when you're leaving Hollywood Studios, if you don't attend the show, you can actually hear it as you leave the exit, and you can see the fireworks go off and hear the music.
I'm
It's
sure
really
you could.
cool ambiance when you're leaving the park.
If you're in downtown Disney in Disneyland, I'm sure you can hear or see something. I mean, I don't know.
Can you?
I don't know. Disneyland people, let us know in the comments. I'm sure you don't have to be at the Rivers of America to see or hear something of that show in Disneyland. There's no way. It's too loud. It's too big. That pirate ship alone probably be seen from California Adventure.
You know what's interesting, Tom? In your show research of Fantasmic, it doesn't actually call out that the shows are different, but they are, because Disneyland does have a pirate ship. We talked about that before we started. Like Disneyland has a pirate ship, which you're bringing up.
Man.
You know,
that's all you need.
Disneyland went to version 2.0, as they call it. I didn't call it that a couple years ago to make the show better.
Yes.
And I have a feeling Walt Disney World's doing that now because they've drained the area, and I think they've been refurbing it. So when it comes back, it might be
maybe a pirate ship.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think that I don't think they can get such a big pirate ship. Plus, you're not going to be as close to the pirate ship. It's going to look very small from your seats way back, 30 rows back.
Imagine as Walt Disney World, you've built an entire theater and you dedicate it to just like one or two shows just in the evening, and it's not used for anything else. I mean, that's wild, right?
I guess. I don't know. I'd rather have it right in the middle of all the action. That way, anyone can see it. You don't have to dedicate. You don't have to say, oh, we want to go see Fantasmic tonight? Okay, well, now we get a fast pass, so we get to eat at this place, or we have to line up an hour before. Disneyland, you're walking. Holy cow, Fantasmic going on. All right, let's stop and watch it. Cool. Bam, you're watching it.
All I can say is we didn't need the zoom on our camera to see the princesses dancing on the boat when they went by in our seats. On your camera, you had needed the zoom to show us that.
You were much younger back then. Okay. I'd be very curious, Chris, if you go today, if you need that zoom.
Yeah, what if you go bring a camera that doesn't have a zoom? My goodness.
Yeah, forget about it. Oh my. All right, well, I think we beat this one to death. This is supposed to be like the easy one. So, man, this might be like a 3-hour show.
But how great for premier entertainment at both parks that you get to end the night with a wonderful show.
Oh,
that it showcases some of their biggest intellectual property and their characters that you want to see, that you can see them in that show.
Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Okay. Well, let's move on. Excuse me. Let's move on to the River Rapids rides. We have the Grizzly River Run at Disneyland, which I think we're taking, right? Yeah. I should know this.
You are.
Versus the Cali River Rapids at Walt Disney World Animal Kingdom. Let's do some general. So I have some information about the Grizzly and some stats for both. And do you guys have stats specific or any information for Cali individually that you want to go over too?
We can go over a few stats, yeah.
I have some stats. I have the generic stats. Together. Okay, I'll go over
your stuff, Tom.
Yeah, I'll go over my stuff in the stats, and then whatever you guys have to add to the end, we'll do that, and then we'll do the great debate. Let's get the video going. Here we go. This like I said, this is the Grizzly River Run on the left. And the Walt Disney World's Cali River Rapids is on the right. The Grizzly River Run is located at Disney California Adventure at Disneyland Resort. The attraction's name comes from Grizzly Peak, the bear-shaped mountain that the rapids flow around. It was designed by Walt Disney Imagineering and constructed by Intamin. Opening day was February 8th, 2001. So here's some stats, side-by-side stats for both the Grizzly and the Cali. Okay. So height, 45 feet. So they both have the same height. The duration for the Grizzly is 7 minutes, 20 seconds. Cali River Rapids at Disney World is only 5 minutes. The drop for Grizzly is 21 feet, where Cali is 30. The boat capacity at Grizzly is 8 persons per boat. The Cali River Rapids is 12. And the height restrictions for the Grizzly is 42 inches, whereas Cali River Rapids is 38. So do you guys have anything else you'd like to add before you start telling why one's better than the other?
I don't think so. I think that covers it.
That covers the major.
Okay.
That covers the technical pieces why Cali's better. But
exactly.
We can
That's what I was going to say. All the stats point to Cali.
Yeah.
Well, does it really? Okay. Do you want us to go first this time? We'll go first this time.
I didn't realize it was constructed by Intamin.
You go first.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's right. Cali is, or not, Grizzly is the bomb. Okay, why is Grizzly better? Let me tell you.
A lot of reasons.
First, the rafts were specifically engineered to spin during the descent, when they descend the chutes. Unlike Cali, these are actually designed to spin. Second, it's longer by over 2 minutes. The one biggest problem with Cali is once it gets by the time you get it going, it's over. It's done. It's very short. The boats allow for 8 guests opposed to 12. That's a plus side. I know you're probably going to say, oh, throughput, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? I don't want to be on with a bunch of other guests. This way, with 8, there's a decent chance that you might actually get a boat ride, like a Zen boat ride with your group, if you have a decent sized group. So I like that fact as well, because I don't need a big boat. I want a smaller boat, because a smaller boat, when you're banging around, you go around in circles, there's a better chance to get wet, right? There's, you got a 12 boat. Oh my Lord, it could take a half a ride, especially the size of Kelly. You may never go backwards because it takes so long to get around, especially since nothing's designed to actually spin the boat. So that's not good. And what else do I got here? Oh, where it lacks, and I know you guys are going to probably talk about theming, right? You got one scene in Cali where there's some burnt forest. Woo. But, I mean, there's no thrill. I mean, if you watch these videos, we're having fun. Our boat is going crazy. You guys are like you're in the library just sitting there waiting for, I don't know what's going on. It's very, very slow pay. Cali doesn't have much going on. It has one drop, and then you're done. And I guess the main argument for the Grizzly being more thrilling is the fact that their height restriction's 42 inches. Cali's 38. You could be a baby and go on Cali. That's how unthrilling Cali is. So Grizzly, you got to be like a little man or a woman before you can get on that, because it is thrill. Look at this thrilling ride. Look at us. We're going crazy. You guys are falling asleep over there. Ridiculous. So Grizzly River Run, no question. Ian, you have anything else to add?
Yeah, like the 9-foot difference on the drop is just made up by the fact that Cali's the only thing that even happens in Cali is that one drop.
You got one drop.
That's it. Other than that, the POV says for itself, it's just a snooze fest.
Yeah, it's like you're at a doctor's appointment waiting to be seen. We're having a blast, going crazy, going around in circles. You guys are just sitting there waiting for the ride to end. There you go. Grizzly, obviously, it's longer, it's better. It's just a superior ride. Look at that. Look at us going. Oh, my Lord. Oh, oof. I'm getting thrilled just by watching this POV. And I'm falling asleep by watching the other one. No, look, Karen. Okay, here's the only scene. Here's the one scene in Cali right now where, yes, they actually themed it. Depressing, by the way. I mean, come on. It's very depressing that you have to see all these burnt down trees. And you got the one drop.
Hey, deforestation is a real thing.
Okay.
I'm learning about the environment and the earth.
Well,
Now,
I can
you said
do
the
that.
video's boring. Now check this out. Just make sure you're watching the Disney World piece right here.
Yeah. See, look how slow it is.
While you're stacked a 30-foot drop.
Yeah, you're 9
now
feet.
look at that.
Is that worth?
Notice that was the thumbnail.
Is
And
that?
the anticipation of when is it coming? Because there's several times when you think it's coming.
Well, it's
and
only
it's not
5-minute
quite there
ride,
yet.
so it's not going to take too long to figure it out. But yeah, okay. Oh, okay, so we're done with our Grizzly. Please tell us why you think the Cali River Rapids is a superior ride.
So we first want to talk about the park. So, Walt Disney
cheating.
Here
World
we
does
go.
have 4 parks plus 2 water parks, right?
Yep.
So we're in our Animal Kingdom where Cali River Rapids is.
Yep.
Grizzly River Run is just in Disney California Adventure, one of 2. So you got lots of options there. But we all know Animal Kingdom is the hottest park on the face of the planet. When you go to it, for whatever reason, you always roast or it rains on you. I don't know why that is, at least for us. And there are about 9 rides. So the Cali River Rapids plays a huge piece in that park because there's limited rides. You have to ride it to get the full experience of the park.
That's one. Also, the queue is unbelievable. It's kind of like Expedition Everest, but if you pay attention to the details and everything in the queue, it is very well themed in the queue. And the rides itself and the theming, the burnt out area. I went on that ride about 20 years ago, and it used to have flames up there where the burn area was. I don't know why they don't do the flames up there anymore, but the theming used to be even better. But the biggest reason I like it more is the longer drop. It's another 9 feet. There's more people in the boat. That means more weight. So in theory, you should get wetter. I'm not a scientist. It's been a while since I've been on Grizzly River, so I don't know. I'd have to compare both, to see who got wetter. But the whole reason you go on those type of rides is to get wet. And like Chris said, in the Animal Kingdom, you roast there. So any dousing of water to me is welcome.
Well, that's true. But like Chris said, though, there's only 9 rides. You're in Florida. It's 110-degree weather. You got 1 water ride. How long is that queue? I know that is a long
Oh yeah, it's
queue.
crazy long.
Even if you just walk, even if the ride is empty, if you're the first person to go into the park, just to walk through that queue is a half hour. I mean, that queue is huge. Yeah, it's great. And they themed it because you'll be waiting in it. Unlike Grizzly River Run, where you can just go right in because it's one of, like you said, many attractions. So yeah, it's nice, but yeah, like you said though, you're going to be waiting in a long queue, and then once you finally get on the ride, by the time it gets going, it's over. That's disappointing.
So in 2018, when we were at Disneyland, it was over 100 degrees.
Yeah. And
we have waited for Grizzly River Run well over an hour. Now they have it covered too, and the queue's not as long as Cali River Rapids. I'll give you that. But we have been out to California. It's not typically as hot as Florida, but it can get that hot. And we personally waited in line for Grizzly River Run well over an hour.
Oh, I'm sure on a day like that, yes. But if you take the average temperature in Anaheim, I'm sure that was not the average. That's definitely an outlier. That's hotter than what it normally is. So on your average day, an average guest would probably have to wait less time in line than at Cali, I would assume.
And how about Cali River Rapids? At one time, I think there was fire in that burned out scene that you're showing. So imagine if I don't know why they're not doing it anymore. I don't know if it's cost, but if the fire was shooting out where the burned forest was, that would be.
You guys are arguing my point, right? You're arguing the point for us. They're not keeping up with it then. Wait till we do Expedition Everest.
Look at the
Yeti
drop.
is awesome.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at our drop. Look at that. Look at that. That is
That's a thrilling drop.
Yeah, that is thrilling. Like that was like, oh, it's fast. It might not be as long, but man, it is speedy
and spinning.
But just think though, when you're hot as all hot can get out in Animal Kingdom, this is the ride you want to get on to get wet. Like if there ever was, you're dying for this ride.
Well, that is true because let's face it, the Animal Kingdom. I mean, they have shows you can cool off in, but yeah. All right. Well, I think we're.
Plus, if you're videoing the ride actually goes underneath you on the bridge. I don't think Grizzly River Run you can see the ride too well. I'll make a vlogger point that the ride actually goes underneath you after you're off the
Dave,
ride.
you're really throwing a Hail Mary there.
I know I had to dig deep for that, but that counts.
Oh man. Well, then I will say that California Adventure usually stays open longer than Animal Kingdom, so you probably have a better chance of riding it. There's more hours in the day to ride it. So I guess. I don't know. All right. Well, that was good. That was a nice back and forth. It'll be interesting to see what we actually vote for because I don't know who's going to win.
I can tell you when we went to Disney World this past August, Cali River Rapids was it was a welcome ride for us to do. Like I could not wait to get on it. Yeah. It was the last one we did. We were hot and it was like, get me on that ride and hopefully we get soaked.
Oh yeah. Don't get me
wrong. And when Madison gets soaked or Dave, it's even better.
Yes. I like that attraction. The problem is, and like you said though, you don't want to do that first thing in the morning, get soaked and walk around in that humidity. And just because you never actually, it's just awful. It's just, you think you'd dry quickly, but if it's with that high humidity, it stays moist and you can have some rough issues going on in the afternoon. So yeah, I don't know, but that is the battle of those two. So good. Should we take a break? Do we have a 7th inning stretch? Oh no, let's get right into the main event. Why everyone is watching this for the Splash Mountain. Again, I have a bunch of stats to go over, so let's begin the Splash Mountain video. All right, Splash Mountain is a log flume at Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland, and Magic Kingdom, based on the animated sequences of the 1946 Disney film Song of the South. Although there are variations in the story and features between the 3 locations, each installation begins with a peaceful outdoor float through that leads into indoor dark ride segments with a climatic steep drop into the Briar Batch, followed by an indoor finale. In 2020, it was announced that the U.S. versions of the rides will be replaced with a theme based on the 2009 film The Princess and the Frog. So it was designed by Walt Disney Imagineering. Here's some stats. Opening day. So I just threw in some Disneyland stats as well, or not Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland stats, just because they're available and I thought it was some of these were actually interesting. So opening day, Disney World, October 2nd, 1992. Disneyland, July 17th, 1989. So it's earlier. Tokyo Disneyland, October 1st, 1992. Isn't that weird? So Tokyo Disneyland opened one day prior to Disney World. I had no idea that was the case. So that's very interesting. Interesting also, the drop, 52 feet, or 52.5 feet. And that's all three of them. So they have the same drop. But I do believe I read somewhere where the actual, the angle of descent was different. So I don't know. Speed, 45 miles an hour. Duration, Disneyland, 9 minutes, 18 seconds. Disney World, 11 minutes, 45 seconds. And Tokyo Disneyland, 10 minutes flat. So there you go. Disneyland's shorter. Height restrictions, 40 inches, 35 inches at Tokyo Disneyland. So that one has a smaller, but the U.S. parks, both 40 inches. The audio animatronics, Disneyland has 103. Disney World has 68. Number of drops, Disneyland has 3. Disney World has 5. Tokyo Disneyland has 4. And the length, Disneyland's is 2,640 feet. Disney World's is 2,600 feet even. And Tokyo Disneyland is 2,800 feet. So that is all the stats. We, as Vacationeers, are going to be arguing for the Disney World version. And Adventures by D, you guys will be doing the Disneyland. So would you care to go first again? Or do you want to defer?
Oh, yes. We'll go first on this one.
All right. Well, take it away.
This is the main event here.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm going to start and kind of lead up to their crescendo of our points here.
Okay.
We think they're well thought out, but leave us a comment and let us know what we missed here for
Yes,
Disneyland.
please.
So first thing I want to tell you is the location. So we'll talk about the ride. We'll get into the ride, why we think it's better. But the location at Disneyland cannot be beat. I mean, you go into the park, you take a left at the hub, and it's like a murderer's row of rides. You go by the Haunted Mansion and Pirates, and then you've got it right there in the park. So just getting to the ride and for us is a heck of a lot easier than traipsing all the way to the back of the Disney World park. Just the size of the parks alone makes Splash Mountain and Disneyland much easier and quicker to get to. So that's it. That's point number one. Chris, you want to talk about the other ones?
So here's another point. You brought distance. So the Disneyland ride is, you said it was 2,640 feet, and Disney World is 2,600. But Disneyland's ride, even though it's 40 feet longer, is 2 minutes shorter because it's a funner, quicker, scarier ride.
Oh.
It is a true, what I would consider to be toboggan type water ride versus Disney World's more boat. A couple people sit across from each other. You are single file, one in front of the other in a boat that rocks a little bit. I was like, oh my gosh, and we went on that thing. And boy, do you get wet. Like, you get wet. We sat on that thing. I had the backpack and water was rushing through underneath, soaked all of our sneakers. I mean, it is truly a fun, interactive ride.
That's my biggest point, is you get wet on Disneyland. There is like no question about it. You're going to get some sort of wet. And if you put the biggest guy in the boat up front, like I did, you're going to get wet on multiple drops. My experience at Disney World is you may get wet on the last big one. But at Disneyland, the first drop, I got soaked in the front of the boat. And I got soaked on the second drop. And I got soaked on the big one. So you're going to get wet and much wetter than Disney World's.
Okay.
And look how many more animatronics there are, Tom. I mean, you just talked about Disneyland has 103 animatronics versus Disney World, pair 68 in comparison. I mean, come on, that's almost double there of the number of animatronics and scenes to see. So it's a fun single file toboggan type ride. Love the music, love the theming. It's fast, and I was shocked because I'm used to the Disney World one, but that Disneyland one, it knocked my socks off when we went on it.
All right. You have anything else?
That was it for now, but we'll save time for rebuttal.
You can rebut later. Okay, so essentially everything you said except for the location is the exact reason why we like the Disney World one better. It's ridiculous. I don't go to Splash Mountain to get wet. If I want to get wet, then I'll do a water ride. Splash Mountain is a great dark ride that happens to be on water. I don't want to get wet. And yes, you're right. You go to Disneyland, you're getting soaked. And I don't want to get soaked on Splash Mountain. I want to sit there for the 10 minutes, enjoy, and I want to slowly enjoy the animatronics. I don't want to race through animatronics. Faster. No. I don't want fast. I want slow. I want to be able to enjoy every animatronic, every scene that I'm in. I don't want to go zooming through it. I want to be able to enjoy it. That's the purpose of a dark ride, which this is. At the end of the day, it's a dark ride that happens to be on water. Now, that's
not
Disney
test track, right, Tom?
That's right. This Disney World is more of a dark ride, and let's say Disneyland is more of a log flume that you would get at, say, Six Flags or Cedar Fair Park.
Oh, come on. With all the theming of Disney Worlds plus another 40 animatronics. Come on.
Now let's
You
talk
can't even
about
make
those
that comparison
animatronics,
like
please.
that.
Your
That was a reach.
animatronics.
Let's
That was
talk
a
about.
reach.
A big
Let's
reach.
talk. Let's
And
talk
by
about.
the way, if the drop's the same in that single file toboggan, it is scary as all get out dropping down
Again,
that drop.
It's
Oh
a
my
dark
gosh,
ride
in
for me. If
Disneyland.
the Disney World version didn't have a drop, I'd be perfectly fine. I'd be perfectly fine with it. And let's talk about your animatronics. The Disney World automated animatronics are superior as they are specifically created for the attraction, while the many of the Disneylands were repurposed from earlier attraction, America Sings. So you have like little animals and stuff in that one. Yeah, you may have 40 more, but they have nothing to do with the attraction. They're just lame things they threw into the ride after the thought. Every one of ours was specifically designed for the ride, for Splash Mountain, where yours are, oh, here's a bunny rabbit from something. Let's throw it in there because we got some room for it. And don't worry about
Tom,
it. No one's going to question it because they're flying through the scene anyway. No one's going to see it.
Recycling is very earth friendly, and Disney's a very earth conscious.
Yeah. So the whole argument that you have more animatronics, you can have it. I don't want your old used animatronics. I want the one specifically designed for us. It's an minute and a half of extra ride time because it is slower, which is what I want in a dark ride.
And
I want to see
basically,
the scenes.
watching your video, you're just in the dark, not seeing anything for that minute and a half. Looks like.
That's fine. I'm resting after like a 12-minute ride. I need to be able to relax, to recoup. Also, there's 2 additional drops. We have 5 drops total. So talking about thrilling, yeah, you may have. You might get wet. Yeah, I don't even want to get wet. So yeah, that's fine. You guys can get wetter and have 2 fewer drops. That's cool with me. And we have a Brer Rabbit hopping away animatronic, which you guys don't have because Brer Rabbit happened not to be in the America Sings attraction back in the day at Disneyland. So yeah. And the throughput. Let's talk about throughput for a second because you guys have a single log flume, like you said, where we have 2 seats. That means we can get more people per boat and we can get the throughput much higher than Disneyland. In both of these attractions, you very well know they're e-ticket and everybody wants to ride them. Maybe not so much at Disneyland because people generally don't want to get wet. So maybe that's a plus for your side. But yeah, normal people don't want to get wet. So I don't know. Ian, what do you have to say? Anything to add?
I also think the Disney World logs are just more comfortable.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. Yes, they are. And let's just notice the video right now. Disneyland, that video's dead. We're still going, baby. We're still moving along. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get back.
And, I was going to say, case in point, as I watch, I'm already off the Disneyland ride and onto my next one. In Disney World,
No.
I'm just floating around in the dark waiting for the darn thing to end.
You're on the side of the thing, wring out your shoes and shirts. We're getting off. We're ready to ride the next ride. We're not wet at all. Our underwear,
I'm just going to go
dry.
Disneyland. I'm just going to go jump on Winnie the Pooh right over there and enjoy myself. Indoor, outdoor,
Soaking
Winnie
wet.
the
Yeah.
Pooh.
Then I get on Winnie the
Tom,
Pooh
you
after
want
you.
Pirates. If you want a dark boat ride, you don't get wet. That's called Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's right.
Hop on that.
Come
want all
on, the
that.
name
That's what
is
I
called Splash
Splash Mountain.
Mountain.
Splash
A
Mountain
splash, not wave.
The name Splash is because of the movie, Tom Hanks movie Splash. That's why it's named Splash Mountain. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's supposed to be wet. It's on a boat, so I guess that's the case. But yeah, I don't want to get wet. You guys, honestly, I know you have to defend. I know you have to fight for Disneyland, and so that's a good one because that's going to be our argument that you don't get wet in Disney World. But I can't believe you actually believe or you want when you ride Splash Mountain to get wet. I've never wanted to get wet on Splash Mountain. I love Splash Mountain. I want to ride it all the time when I'm in the parks. But Disneyland, we rode it once. Per day, right? We rode it multiple days.
Yeah,
but we never rode it more than once.
Day. We waited.
You rode it every day you went because you couldn't get enough. What
Disney
are the rides
World,
you skipped in that park?
we ride it at least twice. One during the morning, one at night, because we're not getting wet. I don't have to worry about it. It's the same reason why you go to Universal, you don't ride Pluto and the other barge thing. Because you ride it, you're getting soaked, and you're like, now we gotta go back to the hotel, or I'm gonna squeak around all day. I don't want that, especially.
Yeah, that's a different argument. That's getting soaked. I would say Splash Mountain, Disneyland. You're going to get wet.
I got soaked.
Those things. You're
that
just going
front
to get
seat,
waterlogged.
if you're in that front seat, You get soaked. My pants,
Soaked.
my shorts were soaked at Disneyland. Soaked. And not just
Yeah,
me.
no, I was in the
And-
front seat. Believe me, I was
Yeah.
there. I've been on that.
It's
and,
not good.
yeah, my shoes were wringing wet.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My shoes, it's fine because I'm wearing Crocs or whatever. My pants, though, I can't overcome my pants, my underwear. Like my shirt, I can get that wet. That's fine. But man,
That's what
no
the gift
complaint.
shop for is on Main Street, Tom. You just go and just quick switch out, man. They got
you
lockers.
don't you have to wash clothes before you wear them. You can't just wear them right off the rack. You're going to get staph infection. Come on, Dave. I guess you could wear it on the ride and that kind of wash it. I don't know. But yeah, well, there you go.
We've gone down a worry rabbit hole here on Splash Mountain, changing clothes.
On the ride during during the drop when you're getting the picture taken.
Hey, and regardless of the ride, when they do retheme it, it'll be just as great of a ride. It'll just be a different theme,
Oh,
and
man, it's
Princess
gonna
and the
be
Frog will fit really nicely with the theme of the mountain and everything going on with it. So
I'll be curious to
looking
see
forward
what
to
kind
what they
of
do.
leftover animatronics that Disneyland has to throw in.
Well, if they have frogs, it'll be perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, you're just gonna keep the same animatronics. It's called Princess and the Frog Mountain or whatever. But no, I like them both. I love Splash Mountain. It's one of my favorite attractions, and for the sake of this discussion, we have to bash the other. But honestly, all 6 of these attractions, I would ride any day of the week and be happy to do it. Although I may be wary if I'm on some of these where I'm gonna get soaked with bad weather or whatever. So, all right, well, that's it. I mean, you guys have any counter? Are we good? Are we ready to vote individually? Vote for each one of these. This will be interesting.
I think we're ready to vote. You sure?
We're ready to
All right,
vote.
let's see it.
It's exciting. All right, I have how do we want to do this? Do we want to say okay? So we'll say for the first one, Fantasmic. So we can just want to use your fingers, like 1 for Disneyland because it was first, and 2 for Disney World. Which one you like? And we'll 1, 2, 3, and we all hold them up in front of the camera. Does that work?
Okay, which one was for what now?
Disneyland is
And
1.
your middle finger? What?
What? That's a different
sorry.
signal.
That's a different podcast. So After Dark podcast. All right. So Fantasmic. Okay. So 1 is Disneyland. 2 is Disney World. Okay. I'm going to count to 1, 2, 3. We're going to do it. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. Ready? Are you guys ready? Everybody got it? Okay.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, go.
Damn.
Wait, Ian, you're Disney World? Are you crazy?
I
Oh,
like
my.
Disney
Tom, I
World's
think you have
more.
to say the results, right?
Oh, I guess so. Yeah. I think I'm going to put this on the podcast. So no, it's going to, yeah. So as you can see, we got 3 1s, 3 Disneylands, and that's Dave, Chris, and me. And somehow Ian picked Disney World Fantasmic. What's your reasoning for this?
Always in the.
It's because you were a child. It's like it has a sentimental value because it's not.
I just think
not
it's
a better
more
show.
grand. I think it's more grand. And listening to you talk about you're not even nearly as close to Disney World. Well, yeah, they set the whole lake on fire. Like
Oh,
they're not doing that at Disneyland.
please.
Like
Good job, Ian.
That is very true. They do a huge fire scene. I didn't even talk about that. Yeah.
they do a lot. Yeah,
you know what
they're
I'm
doing
gonna
a lot
do?
more with effects.
For the sake of the Disneyland coming back online at the end of this month, I'm going to put together a Fantasmic video because I shot the whole thing. I'm gonna put it together and I'm gonna release it on our channel, and you can watch it and you'll be like, no, I was wrong. And then on episode 2,
We have a short. I just released
saw
the
you put a
finale
short.
short on Disneyland's on our channel.
I did
It's
see
not the whole
that.
thing. We'll
Yep.
go to your channel to see the whole thing, but I do have a short.
Yes, yeah. I'm sure I'll be because you're close too. I think because I think I
Well,
watched
what
it.
happened to one of your points? I ran up at the end because I was riding rides, and then they were getting towards the end. I literally, if you see the video, the second part, it's only a minute long, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's a short. But I literally walked all the way to the edge where nobody else was. I didn't push anybody out of the way, but I walked to the edge and caught the steamboat going by,
Oh,
and then the
yeah.
fireworks and the water, and then you can see Mickey towards the
And
end.
you're close.
But that's because all the
Yeah.
annual pass holders were blocked out when you went.
They were, yes.
That's the only reason.
so
We
good.
have gone there on vacation and you could not we didn't catch the time, and when we showed up to watch it, you couldn't even stand anywhere for Disneyland to see it because it was that packed.
Now, Chris, we're done with the debating part. So you voted for Disneyland. So.
I know I did because it's really cool. It's really cool,
It's
and I
very
mean
good,
it's
right?
there in the
You
middle
won
of
the
everything.
debate, Chris. You won.
It's in the middle of everything, so you can see it from multiple vantage points.
It's
and when you come in and out of
wonderful.
rides.
Still adding to it.
Yeah, I know. It's so good. Okay, so that was Fantasmic. So Fantasmic Disneyland wins 2 or 3 out of 4. So that's pretty good. Now the River Rapids. Now what do we actually believe? Again, Disneyland is 1. Disney World is 2. All right, ready? Are you guys ready? You guys have a decision? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all okay. All 4 of us voted for Disneyland Grizzly River Run. Obviously, they had to take Kelly because I picked the other one. But you guys did a good job trying to, get people to think that Kelly's better. But at the end of the day, Grizzly is just
better.
It's faster. It's more extreme. It's thrilling. It's a good day. So.
Callie either needs another drop or something
Yeah.
else going on with the fear that you're going to get wet, even if you don't.
Yes.
And I wondered when we wrote it if some of the jets are off because it looks like some should have been shooting out that weren't. But it's like half the ride. It seems that used to be. I think
I have video that those things that like they're shoot. Yeah, this shoots water. Yeah,
They have the
there's
pots.
multiple.
They hold the pots, right? And the
Yeah,
water
those
comes
shoot
out
water.
normally.
I think when you go up that first hill too, there's a water.
geyser.
Yeah, there's a geyser right in the middle that you go over. So if you're near it, you don't get wet. But the people on the back end, when you go over the geyser and it shoots back up, those people in that half the boat gets wet. So yeah, you're unfortunately the video that you guys did is missing a lot of, like, they had a lot of stuff turned off. And it was
August when we went, so it was hot.
Oh,
It wasn't
wow.
cold when we went, so I don't know if it's the
Maybe
same
it was
ride it used to be.
This is
Maybe it was a
2020,
COVID
right?
thing they were
this is
concerned with. I
COVID.
don't
So
Yeah,
know.
maybe
potentially.
they didn't have everything running to top. Yeah. Hopefully it comes back to what it was. But yes, we have video of ours. I was looking at preparing for this, and things were shooting, and they had a lot more effects where you could get wet. But at the end of the day, it's just a shorter ride with really one drop. And yes, you got a little bit more theming, but I'd rather have the thrill for that type of ride than the theming. It's not like a slow boat ride like Splash Mountain. It's, I want thrills in a rapids ride, So, yeah. So, Grizzly River Run. Wow. So, Disneyland is batting 1,000 so far. But let's see. Can it hold up to Splash Mountain? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Okay. Again, Disneyland Splash Mountain is 1. Disney World is 2. Are you guys prepared to cast your vote? Here we go.
We're ready.
1, 2, 3, go. Again, it's a sweep. Disney World wins, hands down.
Yeah.
4-0, no question. So now, okay, so if the battle's over, so now you can speak honestly. Do you enjoy the fact that you get wet, that wet at Disneyland? No.
I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
And it didn't bother me, but I don't like when my shoes get wet, I have to admit, because then there's you can't dry out your shoes even if the temperature's 100 degrees.
Yeah.
It's all day process.
And it was like everybody's shoes in the boat. The water underneath at your feet came sloshing down. I think I might have been in the back with the kids in the middle. I got soaked, like my feet and all this, and he got soaked. And it does move more. I mean,
Yes.
it is
does
kind of
have
like
more,
a toboggan.
But like Ian said, it isn't.
It was
as
more
comfortable
adventurous.
either. Yeah, but I don't. Like I said, my argument was that Splash Mountain to me is a dark ride because it happens to be on water. I mean, I would go through that if you take the water out, you put it on wheels or put it on a coaster track and have it go slow. I'd be down with riding that. I don't need to get wet in the least for that ride. I don't want to get wet, and that's why the Disneyland one. I'm like, I really don't want to invest in getting wet. I want to ride the ride because I love it, but I don't want to get wet.
But now you put Ian's tall enough. You just put him up front. Now you sit in the back. You're
That's
good.
right. That's right. Here, put the GoPro on you. Go, go, go.
Yeah, you're the water shield for the boat, Ian.
Yeah. So there you go. So Splash Mountain, Disney World takes it. So Disney World did take 1 out of the 3. And it's the e-ticket, so I guess that's the better one anyway, right? Could be argued, I suppose.
I think they're close. I could have voted either way. but because the ride's a little bit longer at Disney World, I gave it the slight edge for me personally. I love them both, even though I'm going to get wet on Disneyland. I'm fine with that because I expect it. To me, it's very close on Splash Mountain.
The boats in general, Disney World, I enjoy so much more because A, you don't get wet. B, they're side by side, so you can sit next to your loved one or your child or whatever and enjoy the experience with them, especially if it's their first time riding it. You can look over and and they're in awe with all the different stuff. So
more like you're holding them down because you're afraid they're going to fall out down that drop.
I will say, Tom, if you come from a family that the boats may be more comfortable single file versus side by side, depending on body types. I guess is how I'll put that.
Or size, like the size of our kids now, there's no way we'd have to be in 2 rows. And sometimes they try to cram you in together and you're like, we don't really fit in one because they're full grown. So
that's true. That's a good point too. But I guess that's a valid point. But I enjoy that boat better. Disney World.
And how about with this rundown? We covered things in 3 Disney World parks and then 2 Disneyland parks, Disneyland and DCA. So it's kind of cool to see how these same rides are spread out in different locations in the Disney parks.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there are 3 separate parks for Disney World, and in both parks in Disneyland.
We've set a high bar for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I know, right? We can only go down from here. It can never get as good as it is now. So yeah, by all means, whoever's watching this, put a comment down below. What do you think is the better attraction? And what's your argument for it that we may not have stated? Or you think our statement is completely wrong? Like, oh my Lord, I love getting wet at Disneyland, at Splash Mountain. That's the favorite part.
Or you love Fantasmic at Disney World.
Yeah, if you're silly. Yeah, okay, yeah.
And I actually like Fantasmic at Disney World.
I love it. I love both.
You brought up the exit. It's when you're getting out. You got to be in the back to get out, or you are stuck there for a long time.
Or you leave early.
You get out of that.
You lose. I mean, one of my favorite moments at the Disney World one, and at Disneyland, I'm trying to remember when Mickey's on top of the mountain, Flash comes, and now he's down below. Like that instantaneous bam. That's a wonderful scene. So, yeah, you miss that if you want to try to get ahead of the crowd, which to me, it's worth the extra wait to catch that because that's really
especially
cool.
if you're seeing it at closing. If you're seeing the
who cares?
Show. You're not in a rush to go anywhere.
No, except that maybe you've been in the parks for the last 4 days.
Yeah,
this is day 4. You've been in for 12 plus hours each day, and who knows? Maybe they're park hopping. They're park hoppers. They're going to Magic Kingdom to catch out. Splash Mountain. So they're in a rush.
We would be.
Yeah. So it would matter to you guys.
Yeah, we'd say, wait, Magic Kingdom's open till when? Okay, we're going there next.
Yeah. Woo! Oh yeah, I would die. At some point, I'd just fall over and collapse. And
Fantasmic is a tough one at Disney World because you're either doing that show, which you're committing a long time to, or you're going to go ride a bunch of rides. So you kind of have to choose. And there's times we've decided to do the show, and later years we didn't do the show, and the kids wanted to get more rides in. So it's just kind of
Yeah, it's one of those things where
what works.
You it's like, do I plan my vacation? Do I plan 2 separate days because one of those days I want to do Fantasmic? But again, this is the mindset of people who don't park hop. You guys, it wouldn't matter. You could just go over in the evening and watch Fantasmic. For me, it's like, okay, well, we got 1 day at the park, or do we plan 2 days? So that way we can see Fantasmic one night and ride the rides at one night. But if you do that, then you got 2 days at a park that really is a half-day park.
I think so. You have plenty of time to ride rides if you just show up at park opening.
Yeah, you can. Well, there's a lot of shows too. That's the other catch-22 with Hollywood Studios is you got rides, but you got all these shows and different show times, and to match all those together with the rides, with Fantasmic, all in one day, you better have a good plan going in, and you better not, fumble it.
For us, Hollywood Studios is one of our favorite parks next to Magic Kingdom. Like, we really like it.
But to your point, not just the rides and the shows at Hollywood Studios, is notoriously difficult to get any dining reservation there.
Yes.
There's so few restaurants.
Yep.
So like when you try to work the math between what you want to ride, your dining reservation time, and any shows there, it's hard to like plan your optimum schedule. Sometimes you got to take what's available and work around whatever you think's the most important.
Yeah, because, especially if you're doing a table service, now you got, 90 minutes taken out of your day as well that you got to use for eating. Yeah, it's it can be quite the challenge. And now that you got Rise of the Resistance, oh my Lord. Once that park is open with the show, with everything going, full capacity, whew, man, I don't know. That park is going to be crazy. Absolutely crazy. Exciting, though. Exciting times. I cannot wait till the parks get back, all the shows running, everything going just like it was before. Oh, man, fireworks blowing up. Oh, can't wait. Can't wait. Soon enough, I'm sure. Knock on wood.
Hopefully.
Yeah, who knows? Next year we'll be doing the same thing. Like, oh, when is it going to come back? No. Who knows? All right. Well, I think that's good for this episode. Oh, man, this thing went like an hour. I thought this thing back a 20-minute, half-hour episode. Nope, we're going to eclipse an hour. Oh, well. Maybe
Sorry.
We were too good at arguing our points, I guess. All right. Well, I never actually wrote up any type of closing for this. Well, we didn't even have a name for this thing right before recording. But do you guys each want to say something, or I don't know?
We can say something. Do you want to say something?
You guys want to do your closing?
We can, thank you for joining us. And we're going to continue this head-to-head battle of Disneyland versus Disney World rides. And you guys will find out in the next one which ones we're going to cover. Can't wait.
Yes, we look forward to continuing this series in collaboration with Vacations, Theme Parks, and more. The next one's going to be in our channel. I hope it's half this good. So we're looking forward to it.
Yes.
And for all the Disneylanders, congratulations. Your park's opening very soon by the time this comes out. So I'm jealous. I wish we can go out to California.
Yes.
So enjoy your park time finally after 13, 14 months, however long it's been.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm sure they're chomping at the bit to get back. Oh my, oh man, yeah.
We love to go to California and Disneyland and DCA. It's great parks.
Yeah. All right then. So for sure, the next episode after this one will be hosted on Adventures by D. So you might as well go over there, subscribe, ring the bell, so that way when it goes out, you'll be able to see it. And then the one after that will be back on our channel and vice versa. And we're going to keep doing them until we run out of similar attractions at each park. And then maybe we'll move on to something else. Who knows? Ooh. So exciting. So many different opportunities. But all right. Like I said, I don't have a closing. So, Ian, take us home.
Okay.
Right on the spot. Yeah.
Like, comment, and subscribe to
both
YouTube channels. Link will be in the description if someone goes and does that, hopefully. Check out our socials on Twitter. I don't know. I think
Facebook.
Facebook. Oh,
yeah, they have a Facebook, Adventures by D. Facebook. You have a Twitter, Adventures by D. Instagram, Adventures by D. I'm assuming it's all Adventures by D. Ours is a Vacationeers Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go check us out. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely subscribe to both our channels because why not? It doesn't hurt you anything, right? It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. Even ring the bell. Then you don't have to even bother going to YouTube to find out if anything new is out. It'll tell you.
You just know. It's just like that.
Are you kidding? Technology today. Amazing. So good.
Bonkers.
So, all right. I guess until the next time you'll see us on their channel doing 3 more attractions. And again, if you want to see something in particular, put it down in the comments and we'll get to it for sure. All right. I think that's it. So farewell. Arrivederci, and have a Fantasmic day.
Right on.
Yeah. Say it. Go ahead, guys. Do your thing.
May the adventures be with you.
Wow, that was perfect. That was perfect. Thank you. Bye. Thanks for watching the Vacationeers Podcast YouTube channel. Please subscribe if you enjoy our content and ring the bell to receive notifications when new videos are released. Please like our Facebook page, Vacationeers Theme Parks and More. And follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Vacationeers Podcast. If you'd like to enjoy more of our content, listen to our podcast, Vacationeers Theme Parks and More. It can be found on most streaming platforms. And lastly, I would like to thank everyone who has either subscribed or follow us on social media. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you, and keep making memories.